Officer was just stabbed in the face.
That shocking attack on a Tulsa police officer is first at 5 as we learn new details about what happened. Good evening, I'm Erin Christie. Police tell us Scorpio Flynn told them he intentionally stabbed the officer who has been on the force for at least 5 years. 2 News Oklahoma anchor Sharon Phillips explains why the officer didn't use deadly force, even though he had just been attacked with a knife.
Tulsa police were called to a liquor store near 41st and Garnett shortly after 7 p.m. on Wednesday. When they arrived, they found Scorpio Flynn walking between several businesses.
So the business called because they have a continual problem with this individual. This person was, exposing himself and urinating behind the business.
When officers walked up to Flynn to confront him, they say he was verbally combative, but wasn't acting physically aggressive at that point. Officers didn't realize it at the time, but Flynn had hidden a knife inside his waistband.
He pulls it out, and he just basically, you can see in the video, he just reaches over and stabbed the officer right here in the cheek. Hit him with such force it broke a piece of the knife off into his cheek. Despite
being brutally injured, Captain Richard Muhlenberg says the officer continued to work to get Flynn into custody.
This officer was just stabbed in the face. The officer kept his composure. He didn't go into fight mode, and he didn't go into flight mode. He did his job.
Flynn was tased twice, but both efforts were unsuccessful. Additional officers arrived and they were able to take Flynn into custody. I asked Captain Muhlenberg why the other police officers didn't use force once the initial officer was stabbed.
When he was stabbed in the face, the other officer who was just pulling in with their car was unaware of the stabbing until later. The first officer didn't articulate that he was stabbed in the face because he's still processing everything. The other officer had no idea that he had been stabbed in the face because they weren't focused on each other's faces, they're focused on the suspect's actions.
The department is not releasing the officer's name or the body cam footage of the incident while he recovers from surgery. Scorpio Flynn is facing charges for attempted first-degree murder and resisting arrest. Sharon Phillips, 2 News Oklahoma.